Hello, guys. Let me see if my volume is loud enough. I can't tell because typically, yeah, it's loud enough. Okay. Um, I have my setup in my room for right now because I have not been feeling so good. Um, Normally, when y'all see me doing my videos, I am normally in my living room. And my health, for I would say for the better past, hmm, 3 months, maybe two, my health has been slowly deteriorating more than what it would typically be, mm, as what it was. Um, my stomach has gotten progressively worse. I don't know if it's from my Ozempic shot or if it's from my younger years of trying to commit suicide when I was not happy. I know that's a very tough subject. YouTube might try to flag it, but I hope that they don't because it's important that I share this because it deals with my health. Um, but I'm trying to share this for a reason with younger people because if you live after you do questionable things to yourself, there's long term side effects. That's why I hope YouTube does not flag what I'm saying because it's very important that it stays. Because I did try to self delete myself, let's put it that way, quite a lot. I was not happy with a lot of choices that my mom was making. She was not making a lot of, let's say, positive choices for herself and myself when I was a young teenager, and even as a young child. And she should have been thinking a lot better, and not a lot better. She should have been thinking more of with an adult mind and an adult mind of I have a child that I don't need to just be thinking of I don't want to put my mom out, but I'm going to be blunt. My mom was only thinking of I need to get with a guy that has, possible good money and that could get me away from my parents. And I really don't think she wanted to have me. Honest to God. She says that about my grandma towards her, but honestly, I was just pretty much a scapegoat for her. I was a maid for her, just like I was for my grandmother. I was maids for them. I was not someone that they loved or cared for as in my youth. I was someone that they used as a fighting pawn, and things that I had to hear as a child, no child should have to hear. And in my family, they thought it was okay because my family is just as twisted and messed up as they are. Only one family, well, two family members that I have that pretty much agree that things like that should not go on are two of my cousins that understand that the well, not that the long term abuse that it does to a young person, eh, it's not all that great, and it's really not. Um, I mean, they want to talk down upon you when you're young and you act out, but they never question why you act out. They never question why people turn to alcohol, why they turn to drugs, why they turn to gangs, why they turn to this, why they turn to that. They never stop and go, was there, a reason at home for it? They just want to straight up and blame the kids, and then the parents get mad when it's pointed at them. No, it does need to be pointed at parents. I hate to say it. My kids have, for one, never wanted to. I mean, yeah, they did want to get out and explore things here and there when people started putting crap into their heads. Like the lady that took care of my grandma and my mom, her name, Renee Quell, aka Dion. Um, she used to put crap into my oldest son's head when he did not really want to get out from home. He was happy being at home. I raised him to be a mature, loving, good natured kid. Same thing with my youngest. She used to sit there and try to say that my youngest son was going to try to, the hard R, her daughter. And I'm like, my son wasn't even interested in her daughter. She dressed her daughter like a slut. Okay. Shorts, like so far up her kid's butt, they weren't even Daisy Dukes. They were pretty much like thongs. Okay. Um, I'm like, your daughter's dressed like a skank. Okay. And that's how you have her dressed. And then when her daughter took pictures of herself in a thong and sent them to a boy, she got mad. And I'm like, well, monkey see, monkey do, honey. She sees you doing it. She sees you acting like a cheap trick. So you want to get mad. And she wasn't family, but she took care of my grandma. And it's no thanks to her that my grandma's dead. And I'm going to, I've mentioned it before, and I'm going to explain how it's no thanks to her that my grandma's dead. Um, she knew my grandma wasn't in her right mind. My grandma hadn't been in her right mind since my grandma was in her 40s, probably in her 30s. My grandma was obsessed with death since she was a child. My grandma was always trying to see the soul leave the body. She had killed animals since she was a child. So my grandma pretty much had the makings of a mass murderer, psychotic murderer. Okay, my grandma literally could have been Charles Manson or worse. Okay, and it was proven. My own family back in the Carolinas did not like my grandma. They beat the living, well, AKA how they say it in the South, they beat the living tar out of her, trying to straighten her up from the things that she did. I mean, she would bury live animals, bury them alive, okay, and then unbury them once they were dead, trying to see if the soul would leave the body so she could catch it. In her way, trying to see if God would come and collect the soul. Does that sound like something a sane person would do? A kid? Me, I would cry over seeing dead animals, I would cry over a rat. I mean, that's a normal child. Okay? My grandma had not been right in the head for a long time. Long, 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 long time. My grandma needed to be locked up. My grandpa had a chance to lock her up when she was about 40, 50 something years old, and my grandpa refused. Now, I know why my grandpa refused, because back in them days, my grandpa would have been in the same situation that her daddy was in. Um, her mom and dad, her mama had died, and her dad was left with a bad decision, well, a tough decision, I should say, of having to put her sister, her, and I don't know how many other relatives there were, up for adoption when my great grandma had died. She was adopted by my great great aunt, but she got to stay with family, and I'm pretty sure my great great aunt, my great 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 aunt, got to stay with family as well. Because my great 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 grandpa was, he was a mortician. He looked creepy as crap, but the way I understand it, he was sweet as possible, even though he looked evil as hell. But I heard he was a sweet man, and my great 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 grandma was sweet too. Well, my great great grandma. Anyway, now where it got even twisted is because my grandma, she has literally been abusive all her life. She had weird hangups with having sex. My grandma, in lack of better words, was a lesbian. And she didn't want to come out saying it. She literally had affairs against my grandfather. Didn't want to come out and say it. I know for a fact she did. And because she used to go on dates when my grandpa was in the military, she used to go on dates with Navy SEALs. She used to go on dates with Marines. She went on dates when he was in across the seas. She had no reason going on dates with other men. My grandma was pretty much a whore. Okay, I disrespect that. I only went out with my girlfriends, okay? And for lack of a better words, I was bisexual for a time in my life, but I didn't mess around on my husband. Okay, I had opportunities. I tried to jump on them. I couldn't do it because I love my husband. I could not bring myself to cheat on him. I could not. I tried to kiss another person. I couldn't even kiss another person. I kissed my best friend, yes, but then I felt dirty, you know? I felt nasty. And I couldn't do it no more. And I even told her, I was like, we're done. We're done doing this. And the only reason why my best friend was wanting to do that is because she was trying to act like like a 2 cent hooker, I'll put it blunt, because she was trying to make the guy that pretty much hard R'd all three of her kids. The first one was her daughter that she had a one night stand with a guy that I know. His name's Patrick. Well, she tried to tell everybody the guy was John. No, it's Patrick, because she didn't want everybody knowing what a cheap trick she was. She's a cheap trick. The guy was Patrick, was not John, because the whole treehouse incident was way back when I used to live at the Arbors, and that was like a year prior to me moving back to the trailer park. So I know how to tell time. And when she had met Patrick is when she had got pregnant with Gwen, my niece, aka my ex-niece. She was my goddaughter. I had told her at that time because she was trying to kill her daughter. Now, if her daughter knew this, I don't even know if she told her. She tried to take the day after pill. She was trying to kill her with alcohol. She was even trying to put hangers up in her cooch. I mean, there's things I know that I really dislike people that do these kind of things. I admit, I told my son. I felt him, I knew I didn't feel him, but I found out I was pregnant. My mom is a psycho. Okay? I knew if she found out I was pregnant, she was probably going to kill me. I was trying to alleviate the issue. I was punching myself in the stomach. I even told my son about it. The moment I felt him move, I stopped. I started crying. I was like, you know what? If my mom's going to kick me out, if she's going to try to do something, I will, I started working at the age of 11. I was literally a slave at the age of 3. I had been washing dishes, ironing clothes, washing clothes, doing everything. I knew how to take care of everything. I knew how to cook. I knew how to, I could take care of a kid. So I wasn't scared. I mean, yeah, I was scared of becoming a parent because I got hard with my son. And the thing was, I was not supposed to be able to have kids, but I welcomed the idea. And then I was supposed to have twins. My son is supposed to have a twin daughter. Not a twin daughter, but a twin sister. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to have a twin daughter. He's supposed to have a twin sister. I had lost her due to all the freaking stress that was going on in my life at that time. I was stressed out because of my mom's stupid boyfriend that had became her husband, that I kept telling her to ditch him, that he was a worthless. I have PTSD still over that cum bucket. I have nightmares. I cannot stop having nightmares over him. I have eternal scars. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever get over the issues. He hard-R'd my grandma. He hard-R'd both my sons. So, like, retribution, yeah. Like, if my mom would have just let me do my own thing and let me, just keep him away from my kids, because he had this thing about kissing my kids on the mouth. And she didn't find that weird. I'm sorry. If you have a man that's kissing y'all's kids on the mouth, something is wrong. Y'all need to pull back and be like, no, get your kids out of the situation. Okay. Now back to my ex-best friend, and then I'll go to the other people. I warned her about the douche she was with, because she was constantly trying to do things to get his attention, dragging me into it, causing problems even in my own marriage. Okay. On top of it, she owes me, like I said, she owes me money. My mom owes me stuff. Dion owes me stuff. I mean, all these people owe me things because of all the constant crap they put me through. Dion stole out of my house, on top of Amanda stole out of my house, on top of money that she owes me. And she told me she would pay me back. After, I got you, I'll pay you back. I got you, I'll pay you back. Because I kept telling her, girl, I really don't want to be going out all this much. But we don't want to miss a photo op. Who really cares about a God blessed photo op? Like these pictures of us being blitzed out of our mind drunk. These are not really modeling pictures. I mean, if we want to really do modeling pictures, we need to go somewhere like to a graveyard. We need to go somewhere to like maybe a forest. We need to go somewhere to like maybe a waterfall. I mean, going to a bar, our eyes going this way because we're so freaking drunk and sweat covered. I mean, it's not like a glorious photo op. I'm sorry. It's not. And then Dion, she was so jealous of me. She was so green jelly that because my husband he still spends money on me. And she was so pissed. So mad. I mean, like, oh my God, y'all are so much in, we weren't even in debt. And we're still not in debt. I mean, she was getting mad because my husband would get me subscription boxes, which y'all see me reviewing them, my witches boxes, my makeup boxes and all that, which I've slowed down because I'm spending money on my kids. I'm putting a lot of money towards them because my oldest son got married last year. And I'm putting a lot of money towards them. I put a lot of money towards their wedding, which, he's got a job and everything. Yes. But me being a mom and him being my first son and got married, I wanted to put a lot of money towards their wedding because I like being, a planner, kind of like an inventor, that's kind of like my thing. So I got the bouquets, I got, the veil, I helped, I showed her where to get the dress and she loved the dress. And because I found the dress and it was beautiful. It was this gothic, beautiful, like laced up dress that it was like, which we got to get it cleaned because we accidentally spilled some stuff on it Halloween night. So we had a ball. We were handing out candy and everything and saw one of our friends, one of mommy's friends, me. And, we literally were handing out candy for like 4 or 5 hours after we got back from festivities from the wedding and everything. And we had a ball. But it's just like, it was cool. Because it's like, it gave me such gratification to do that. And it's something I enjoy. But see, no one else would do that. They wouldn't. And see, I made sure I went through her specification. It's like stuff I like anyway. But like when my wedding was planned, nothing was planned the way I wanted. Nothing. It was just like they had to do it all Christian, all white, all this. And I'm just like, can you gag me with a frickin' spoon and fork and a like boiling hot pitchfork? I'm like, God. I'm glad that I'm open-minded and I'm not trying to shove my beliefs down people's throats. That I'm not trying to sit here and say, oh, yay, Christian this. Oh, yay, Christian that. I'm like, that's why I distance myself from people like that, because it's like, you know what? I know what it's like to have that crap shoved down your throat nonstop. I don't believe in religion because, you know what? It's man-made. They make it so they could steal money from you so they can force their crap down your throat. And I've been hearing since I was a kid, and it's been going on since my mom was a kid, and even my oldest aunt that's damn near 80, that God is coming back. He ain't came back yet, so I don't think he's gonna come back now. And it's been going on since the dawn of mankind that God's coming back, God's coming back. God, if he ain't came back yet, fools, he ain't gonna come back for your sorry asses. Because you know what? I don't think he wants y'all. Because y'all are a bunch of lying, sick, good for nothing, backslidden, sorry asses. You honestly think that if there was a real God, he'd want anything to do with all of y'all, especially with the president that y'all are upholding? No. A real God wants loving, caring, good, honest people. I mean, to think about like what I've said in a previous video that I've stated dealing with religion versus spirituality, the main thing that they use to goat people into religion, there's streets paved of gold. There's places with rubies and emeralds and pearl. Why does God have to bait you with riches? When they say there's nothing you should want, because it's not about that in heaven. It's not about riches, that you're supposed to go to heaven just to be with God, it's supposed to be the ultimate peace, that you're not supposed to be hungry, you're not supposed to be sleepy, it's supposed to be the perfect temperature, you're just supposed to be up there for the sublimeness of nirvana, the peace and happiness. And it's like they're up there just for bullshit. They're going up there for riches and all this other crap. They're not going up there for spiritualism to enrich themselves in the nirvana. And it's like, I call bullshit. Okay? Y'all can sit here and say y'all are doing it for the righteous reasons. I say you're doing it for your greed reasons. That's what I said. I say the religion embodies all the 7 deadly sins. That's why I say religion is fake. That's why I embody spiritualism. Because honestly, I do try to do things right. I do try to pay it forward. I try to be good to people. But you know what? I'm not going to sit here and take my cheeks getting slapped. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to sit there and have someone treat you like utter crap. And I've never seen a Christian, honest to God, sit there and take getting their cheek slapped. Because in the Bible, it says you're supposed to turn the other cheek. Like, if someone's literally being so evil and malevolent to you and you're supposed to turn the other cheek. I have never seen one Christian turn the other cheek. Not a once. Like back in the old school days when I was a kid, maybe a few times. A few. Like maybe a handful. And those are the ones that I looked up to, because those are like diamonds in the rough, as I would call it. Maybe, and they weren't real. They said they weren't really Christian. They were spiritualists. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start studying this spiritualism. I'm going to start studying this because I'm really curious about spiritualism. Because they said religion just ain't it. I was like, okay, you on to something. But I'm not here to talk about all that. My main thing also is people in general are just getting so bitter. Like when I came into healthcare, when I was taking care of my grandma, I had more care taking care of my grandma. Like, I would make sure she was bathed, everything was vacuumed, her room was dusted, she didn't have no food hidden, because she would hide food under her bed, she would do all that, she would lie about it, and I knew how she was. Now, when Dion, aka Renee Quill, Renee whatever, girl has so many aliases, man. Renee Josie. I mean, she's had so many freaking aliases, it's not even funny. This girl came in knowing my grandma had dementia, Alzheimer's, everything. Telling an 80-something going on 90-something year old woman in a trailer is almost a single, it was almost like a half double wide, telling her to put a squishy pillow on the floor on top of an air vent, to put it on the floor to cover the vent, knowing that my grandma would walk on top of it, fall, and dang near break herself. And that's exactly what my grandma did. My grandma fell, shook the whole damn trailer, I mind you, because my grandma has got a lard ass. I mean, my grandma had an ass that stuck off her like this much. My grandma had a badunkadunk. She had a black girl's ass. I'm not playing. My grandma had an ass. I told my grandpa, that's the only reason why you like her. She got black girl thighs and a black girl's ass. And I said, she got a flat tits because I got boobs, I got thighs, and my kids took my ass because I used to have a cute butt. But my kids sucked my butt out of me because my kids got badunkadunks. They got ghetto booties. Both my sons had took my ghetto booty. They took my butt. So I need to get a BBL. I'm going to get me a BBL. And I'm going to get me some lips after I get my teeth done. I'm going to get me a little bit of filler. I'm going to get me some Juvederm. I need to get me some Juvederm. Yes, I'm cocky. I don't like looking like this because normally I'm a sexy bitch. But I'm not sexy no more. Yes, I'm cocky at my old age because you know what? I'm going to be 45 this year and I still look good in my old age. Okay? So, anywho. But what she did, she told my grandma, I mind you, to do all that. And my crazy ass grandma listened to her. And my grandma goes and first, the hospital here where we live, which I'm pretty sure if any of y'all know, if you know, you know, y'all heard of Scott and White. It's the most worthless damn hospital, and I cannot wait till they close down every freaking door of Scott and White's because they need to be sued. They need to be closed. And if Zaffy, you could do a research on them, Zaffy, I'm calling you out, homie. I love you. Research Scott and White hospitals. They need to be sued. They are like, I'm telling you, they are scoundrels, buddy. You need to research them. You need to go after them, Zaffy. I'm telling you. They're another, like, they're in there with Big Brother. I'm telling you. I don't know how they get out of it. I mean, they put this thing on there saying that their student hospital, the student research hospitals where they have students come in learning underneath doctors, they have done such scammy crap. Like my poor daughter-in-law, I call her my daughter, but she had a fibroid bigger than a grapefruit. Okay? Bigger than a grapefruit. This bug had been growing and growing and growing and growing. She could have died at any time. She also has a heart issue. They were playing with her health. They could have removed it. They had more room to remove it than the hospital that she had to go to. Even though the hospital she went to was more better equipped, I think. Because, I mean, they took better care of her. They actually seemed like they had more better doctors on hand and more conscientious doctors that have brain cells instead of dumb students. Actually, it's not dumb students, it's dumb doctors, because it's like the doctors really don't care. They're in there to get their Lamborghinis, their Mercedes, and that's all they care. They want to charge you about $50,000 to go in there, but then they don't want to do nothing to charge you for that. Yeah. And that's where I live. Middle of Central Texas, middle of nowhere. Temple. I'll tell y'all where I live. And it's the shittiest hospital. Shittiest. If I could sue them, I would right fucking now. The shit that's happening with me with the Ozempic. Yeah, I'm going to be talking to a lawyer. Because they don't even check up with me. It's like they don't even care. They're just letting shit randomly happen to me and they just don't care. Like what happened to my grandma. My grandma had went to Scott and White. I don't know how many times. I had to go up in there, cuss them out. For them to x-ray her properly, because she was flopping around like a fish out of water. And I'm like, pin her down and get the x-ray done right. Because I said, she can't even walk. I said, I could see her hip coming out. Like, I could see the hip literally coming out to in her stomach. I'm like, something's wrong. I said, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. It doesn't take somebody with a PhD to know her hips broke. They finally figured it out. Her hip was completely broken. Her knee was broken. She had basically, her pelvis was fractured from Dion's great advice. And on top of it, she was actually hemorrhaging on the inside thanks to Dion. Dion pretty much murdered my grandmother. She was responsible for everything that led up to my grandmother's death, because my grandmother had get put at a very bad nursing home. And then my aunt is also partially responsible for my grandmother's death, Duane Tillery, because I was getting it investigated. She actually had my cousin, Cheryl Hillen, call up to the actual place that I was getting my grandmother's free autopsy done. I was getting a free autopsy done. I was actually getting everything done by the state free, because they found out my grandmother was Navy. And I had talked to the gentleman. He was being utmost nice to me, and he was doing everything free by the state. I signed paperwork off on it, and they were doing everything free for me. Hey, baby. Oh, and I signed the paperwork. I sent it back to him. I actually faxed it ASAP back from Staples. And he told me everything's taken care of. We're going to get your grandma's autopsy done. We're going to find out if there's any foul play done by the nursing home. And we'll get back to you ASAP. My aunt calling up there, threatening the nursing home. He is like, I be damned. He actually goes, you are very polite. He goes, you, for one, I don't mind working with. He goes, your aunt called up here threatening me. He says she told me this, that, and the other, and that if I didn't do this ASAP and this, that, and the other, she was going to, get me in trouble with the newspaper company and this, that, and the other. I said, she does that a lot, sir. And that's the type of bully my aunt, Duane Tillery, is. And she likes doing that kind of crap to everybody, because she thinks that she knows everything and she's better than this and she could do this. And she lives in El Paso, Texas. I mean, she literally has my family with her, like her two daughters and my two cousins, her two granddaughters, literally living under tyranny. And they go with it because she quit being like that, you dork. She has them quite seriously under tyranny, and literally she bullies them, and then she keeps them under a thumb, like, oh, I'll buy you, WWE tickets, or I'll get you this and I'll get you that. And then she treats them like crap for the rest of the time. And I'm like, you know what? Getting things bought for me once in a blue moon, I don't give a flying fick. I don't care. You ain't going to treat me like crap. I was treated like that by, I don't know how many family members of mine, and they got wrote off. I mean, my aunt had literally put me in the fucking hospital. Pardon my French. I had a heart attack. It was moderate to severe heart attack. Duane Tillery put me in the hospital because my mom had lied to her. Yeah, I have a heart condition. No thanks to her. Yeah, called up to my house, fighting with me, yelling at me. It wasn't really my house. I was renting it. I'm renting this nice home too that I'm in. And the thing is, it's like she thinks that she's Queen of Sheba. She thinks she's Cleopatra. She's Elizabeth Taylor, like my grandma thought. And I'm like, sweetheart, I'm like, you had to lay on your back to get everything that's been given to you. Okay. Me, on the other hand, I've worked for everything I've got. Okay. And now I'm disabled. Yes. But for the fact of the matter is, I didn't have to always, wait for a man to do everything for me. Okay. I did everything a lot for myself, sweetheart. I could thank myself for that. I didn't need no man. And even if I did, I surely didn't have to get with some child molesting mug that molested both my daughters and my grandchildren at that fact. Okay? Okay. 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 Let's get that right. Now, I ain't gonna sit here and play it up. And then on top of it, I heard, not only heard, about she murdered both her in-laws, arguing with them in cars to make them have heart attacks, and then getting in a car accident with them. Make it look like it was foul play. Make them look like they got in an accident because they got from them having heart attacks. Which, how well do I know about her making people have heart attacks? Because she did it to me at my house and it was actually recorded. That's one thing that I got put on at my hospital, that my aunt actually gave me a heart attack. So, yeah. I made sure it got put on my thing that my aunt caused me to have a heart attack with my mother. And I made sure I took my phone with me and everything got put to the doctor. I'm not stupid. My grandfather taught me very well. He told me which family members to avoid and which ones were troublemakers, because I was my grandfather's favorite. I was so sick and tired of hearing that my mom was the favorite. I was like, no, she wasn't. She got disowned. She was not the favorite because she put that stupid SOB that she put above me. She was not the favorite. Especially a lot of the stuff that my grandpa saw her doing with him. No. She was not the favorite. And I'm the baby. So no. My mom was not the favorite, and she hadn't been the favorite for a long time. Because I'm the one that constantly went and saw my grandpa. I'm the one that took care of my grandpa. And I'm the one that kept trying to help my grandpa. So I kept getting sick and tired of hearing that my mom was the favorite when she was absolutely nothing and nobody to my grandpa. My grandpa had said all his daughters were dead to him. That I was more of a daughter to him than anybody. So yeah, my Aunt Ann could sit there. Well, she ain't my aunt. Duane, aka Caca Pants, could sit there and think whatever she wants to think. Because my grandpa, that's why I was left the head of the wheel. They all can sit there and think whatever they want, but once they all pass over and my grandpa gets his hands on them, they're going to find out. Including my mom. They're all going to get one hell of a whooping from my grandpa. And people are going to be like, why are you talking like that? You guys don't understand. There is a way that I see things in spirituality, that people you do wrong, that you've done wrong, they come looking for you once you pass. And there's comeuppance you owe when you pass over. And those comeuppance come due once you pass. And you pay for them before you either go to your final resting places, either purgatory or Tartarus, hell, whatever you consider your final, like if you're a bad person, wherever you're going to go. I figure there's 9 gates of hell is what I see. And depending on what type of person you were, I don't figure there's 1 gate of hell. I figure there's 9. Because there's 9 levels of hell, depending on what kind of person you were. So, yeah, about that, shouty. And I don't figure there's a quote-unquote heaven. I figure there's more of a legions field, more of a kind of, like if you understand what you were meant to do in this life. Like if you basically caught up all your karma, because karma is like credit. You know, you earn credit in each life. And if you pay off all that credit that you've calculated, your bad credit and your good credit, then maybe you get a better life, or you get to go and meet the ancestors, the creators, and then you finally get to rest. And friends, I want to rest. I'm honestly and I know y'all are gonna be like, that's so morbid, y'all. I can recall, I don't know how many past lives. And honestly, I have been doing my best to make up for everything in this life. And I know y'all are gonna be like, well, you're talking so much trash. No, I'm talking so much truth. It's not trash. These are people that have done horrendous things, like my Aunt Anne. Well, not my aunt. I don't really consider her my aunt, because she has not necessarily been none of the people in my family as elders have been family. Like my Aunt Donna, she stole from me. She took my grandfather's Bible, which was supposed to be mine. She took my grandfather's wedding ring, which was supposed to be mine. She took a lot of stuff that she was not supposed to take, because guess what? My grandma was still alive. So none of that stuff was supposed to have been touched. She stole crap. Not crap. She stole memorable artifacts that were supposed to be left for me. Everything of my grandfather's was supposed to be mine. She was not supposed to have touched crap, because she was not in the will. Not one iota. Because she ran away from home, she got disowned. Especially the drugs, the alcohol, what she did with my mom, taking her away from home when she wasn't supposed to, getting my mom wild and crazy like she did. My grandpa was not very happy with that. Between her and my Aunt Nina, yeah, my grandpa was pissed. So they were marked off. And my Aunt Donna lied about it on top of it to me. So my grandpa, they think that my grandpa ain't got some bad voodoo on them. My Aunt Donna's health is the worst in the family. Hers is the worst. Her knees, her heart. She lies about having lupus, yet I'm the one that possibly has lupus. Now, people are going to be like, well, your health is so bad. You guys have no idea how many people are jealous, wished bad shit on me, wanted bad shit on me. So yeah, like Dion, for instance. Hi, my daughter. Hi. She's the one that's going to be doing a podcast with me. Me daughter. Me baby girl.
Yes.
My wild child hair daughter. She's got wild hair just like her mama. Which y'all have seen her with me more times than once. But like Dion, I will say, Renee, that bitch has been so jealous of me since the day she's met me, and supposedly she's been my friend. But since the day she met me, dumbass talks so much bad crap about me, and instead of her being a woman. Now, us women, we're supposed to be sisters. We're not supposed to believe men over us. She could have given me a benefit of a doubt and got to learn me, know me, instead of trusting him above me. So that goes to tell you what type of woman she is. She's a tramp. She believed a man over a woman, and especially a younger woman as a child. What does it tell you? She's not a very good judge of character, and she is willing to believe a piece of ass over a younger child. So that tells me I shouldn't even give her a chance as a friend. But me, being me, I was willing to give her an opportunity because I'm a sweetheart. And that's where, for my ex-best friend, I'm going to quote Amanda, my heart rules my head, and I need to quit letting it. And I stopped letting it finally. I stopped letting it. So she would be proud of me finally. I finally started being the bitch I used to be. I started being the bitch that I wanted to be, that my mom told me to stop being. Because I was actually going to go outside and beat Amanda's ass the first time I heard her loud ass, because she was giving me a fucking migraine the first day I heard her. We lived in the trailer park. She was being so fucking loud behind my trailer. Oh my fucking God. And I had a migraine. I had a migraine to the point I was running a fever. She was right behind her trailer being a loudmouth fucking bitch. And she would not quit. I open the door. Mom goes, tab. I'm like, don't you fucking tab me. And Amanda heard me. I was like, can you quiet the fuck down? I said, I could hear you clear across in this fucking house with everything fucking shut, bitch. Everybody outside started laughing. And they're like, ooh. And she looked at me funny. I said, you think I'm scared of you, little girl? I said, I'll come out this house and whoop your ass. And trust me, I would have whooped her ass every time I got, because trust me, I ain't scared of her. I ain't never been scared of her. And trust me, every time I tried to whoop her ass, she always grabbed me and hugged me because she knew I would fuck her up. Because her shit, she knew I'd fuck her up. She knew I would. Her, Tamara, all them little trampling ass whores out there in that God blessed trailer park, I would have tore every one of them up. Plus, I didn't like fighting girls. But if you gonna give me a God bless a migraine, I would slam your head into a trailer and I would crack your skull. And I ain't gonna feel bad about it because you asked for it. I don't like getting migraines because I get migraines on the regular and I get nosebleeds from it. Because the shit that my grandma's done to my head, and I don't like it. And if you're going to incite my migraine because you can't shut your loud mouth up, and you're going to sit here and scream louder than about 50 banshees, and I have Irish in me, and I also have Viking in me, I will go get an axe. And I will show you my Viking theory. On top of it, I have Native American. I have 3 tribes, not just one. And she is whiter than white. And this is what kills me. And I'm still going to keep saying this. She says she has Puerto Rican in her because she has a butt and big lips. Honey, my grandma had a bigger butt than you, and my grandma is whiter than white. And my mom had big lips. And my mom's a white cow. Okay? My mom had bigger lips than Angelina Jolie. So, honey, shut your white Irish ass up. I hate people like that. I am mixed because I have a ass. No, you have an ass because you like eating yeasty products and you sit on your ass a lot because you're a lazy freaking turd and you don't like moving. And yeah, I can tell you why you have a big ass. And it ain't because you're mixed. Okay? You ain't Boricua. You ain't nothing. Okay? I want to see an ancestral report that says you have Puerto Rican in you, and it better actually be a real ancestry report. It better have real DNA, and it better not be faked. Until that pops up, shut the hell up, you white girl. Oh, okay. I'm the one that taught her how to dance. I'm the one that taught her how to merengue. I'm the one that taught her how to mambo. I'm the one that taught her how to salsa, her and her white ass mama. Because they both didn't know how to fucking dance until I taught they white asses. So shut the fuck up. White girls are us. Ugh, I hate white people. I'm not being racist. But when white people cannot admit that they white and then they gotta mix it up, it's like, if you're European, just say you're European. It's like Jesus Christ on a bike. And another reason why my shit's mixed up, because I have Creed. It's like, Jesus. He's being a cutie pie. My Zeno. I will be hanging out with you and Dre. Did Dre come home yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
He gotta wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Why?
They gotta start working early.
For what?
I don't remember what it is, but they're getting up early too.
Like, do they got inventory or something?
I think it's like part of that. But they're messing up.
That's some bullshittery.
I know, right? It's basically before overnight gets off their shift, and they're gonna be babysitting. Oh, Damien came in.
Hey, Day Day. Hey, Damien. Hey, you coming to see baby? Hi. I'm seeing the cats. You seeing the baby? What's up, baby? Hi. Hi, grandson. Hi. 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 Where you going, baby? Yes, that's the other stuff, baby.
Is
Oh,
he
you,
coming out?
damn, he's actually walking around. Holy shit. Damien's actually being brave.
Here.
You can leave it open for a minute.
Alex is playing music loud.
I'll close it as soon as he walks out.
Okay. You need to open right now.
Ugh, all right. Ugh. All right, guys. But off of that, now back to Dion. When she started taking care of my mom, it got a little complicated. Her and my mom started fighting, and then she started fighting with me, and she even put her hands on my kid, and well, actually, both my kids, and I didn't like that. Now, being that when you work for the state, taking care of the elderly or anything like that, you're not supposed to do that. And me knowing, because I worked for the state taking care of my grandma, I knew that because I signed paperwork. I knew the due diligence of what comes with that territory. And you're supposed to take very good care of the elderly. And you're not supposed to mistreat them, mistreat their family. You're supposed to come in there, do your work, and leave. We even let her bring her grandson, which I babysitted him, and he broke my exercise bike, which was about, it's okay, Damon, which is about a $500 exercise bike that I had to throw away, that had a fan on it, and I could play music on it and everything. And he would tear up shit in my bathroom, and he would get into stuff, and she wouldn't care. I'm like, he's in my home. You need to watch him. When he goes to the bathroom, watch him. She goes, why do I need to watch him? I'm like, your grandson's getting into stuff. I said, you bring him here, you watch him. That's the rule. I'm like, does anybody else you bring him to the house not care what he does? And nobody else would let her. So I'm like, girl. And then she would constantly call out, make excuses, bullshit, and everything. And then I knew what she would do. She would call and say she was at work when she wasn't. And I'm like, we ain't doing this. And the last time that she literally put her hands on my mom. Now, I hadn't put my hands on my mom since I was probably 24 was the last time I put my hands on my mom. And that was because of Dick, her ex-husband, because he was starting a shit between her and me, and I was getting tired of it. And she would not put him in his place, and I was getting fucking tired of it. I was like, girl, I'm like, look, you're the one that brought him here. He could have stayed in El Paso. You moved him to Colorado with us. You moved him here to Temple with us. I'm like, his bitch ass should have stayed in El Paso. He's not family. This is family. He's here with grandpa, grandma, you, and me. There's no reason for him to be here. Y'all ain't even fucking married. No reason. And he's causing problems. I mean, he would literally stand behind her, make faces at me when she would be getting in my face, when he would start shit between her and me on purpose, and he would be laughing. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. We ain't doing this. And I'm like, you know what? If you're going to do that, I'm putting hands on you on purpose, Mom. I said, no, we are not doing this. I'm like, if you're going to let a guy come between you and me, I am going to beat your fucking ass because you're literally being that used and that stupid. If you're going to let a guy come between us, I will whoop your ass. And I did. I fucked up her back. I whooped her ass. And I'm like, no. If someone's going to come between you, you know what? I'm going to be like my daddy and I'm going to take you out of this world because you are my mother. I didn't ask to be born. I did not. And I seriously, to this point, I still struggle with wanting to be here in this world. And I told her, I did not want to be here. You brought me fucking here. And guess what, bitch? I don't want to be here. And you know what? You made me be here. And I don't want that asshole being my dad. So you know what? You're going to suck it up, Buttercup. Because I have every right choosing who my father is. And I do. That is, and children, I'm telling you something. When your mother tells you you do not have a right choosing your dad, yes, you do. If it's not your birth father, you have every right voicing who your father is. And if she thinks you don't, go to your birth father then. If she thinks you don't, go to your daddy. Let her find out. You have every right voicing who your daddy is. She thinks you don't, go to your dad. See how much she likes that then. She'll think twice then. Because when your daddy comes and whoops that mug's ass, she'll think twice then. Or he kills him, she'll think twice. She'll think twice. Or he whoops the shit out of her, she'll think twice. Because, maybe a lot of times I should have brought my daddy in. But I don't know if my dad would have done something for me. I wish a lot of times my dad did because my dad was very, 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 very scary. And my dad could have totally have owned him. My dad could have owned him. And I wish to God he would have. Because my dad could have broke him. Just like I did. I kicked him in the nuts. And I got him running because I did a few things to him. So it's okay. A few more things will get done eventually, but it'll be karma. That's fine. Like I told him, karma ain't done with him yet. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but it'll get done. But like I was talking about with my health, I don't know necessarily if it's a shot, because I do have to take Ozempic, and I did not ask to be put on Ozempic. People are like, yeah, you did because you're fat. Actually, when I went into renal failure about 4-5 years ago, maybe longer, they put me on Ozempic saying, oh, it's insulin, it's this and it's that. And at that time, I didn't really know that Ozempic was for people that are fat. I thought it was insulin. Because I was like, I told them, I was like, is this insulin? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. Because I told them, I was like, where's the regular needle? I was like, I'm used to needles. I said, aren't I supposed to be put on straight insulin first? Because that's what my grandma was straight up put on, was regular insulin. And they didn't even offer me regular insulin at first. And I'm like, why am I being offered regular insulin first? Being that I'm type 2 diabetic. And they go, well, this will work better with you right now because it'll help regulate your sugar and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. And it's long lasting. And you only have to take it once a week. And I'm like, I don't really care about taking insulin every day. It doesn't bother me. I was like, I gave my grandmother her shots all the time. It doesn't scare me. And so they were making up all these excuses why taking Ozempic was so much better. And I'm just like, okay. And so they were giving me, the whole hoopla about me getting put in the hospital was I wasn't feeling so good. I was having problems breathing. I went to the ER first, to my quick, fast 24-hour ER that I went to. And they told me, had the hospital told you that you were type 2 diabetic? And I'm like, no. They go, have they told you you were borderline? I'm like, no. I said, that's my family, not me. I said, I've never been told I was diabetic, which I hadn't. And not even borderline. It had never been brought up. And I'm not even remotely joking. Not even remotely. And I was actually getting some of the symptoms, which I was kind of scared because, when you get diabetic, when you start going into the renal failure, your hoo ha or your around your genitals start itching really bad. That's part of like the sugar issue, the yeast, and you start getting really thirsty. You start urinating a lot. You problems breathing. It's like you feel suffocated. Those are a lot of problems with diabetes type 2 or maybe type 1 going into renal failure. Like basically your body is going into shock. And so they sent me home and they're like, well, if anything else happens, just come back or go to the main emergency room, aka Scott Wine, blah, 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 blah. Hospital I hate. And so I started feeling worse, and I walked to the bathroom at that time, where the bathroom is right here on this side, which is a good bit farther from my bed where you see. But at that time, the bed was from the bathroom to my bed was a lot closer. I mean, it wasn't even 4 or 5 steps. And doing that, I was winded. Like, I had ran a marathon. And I had told my husband that I had literally felt like something was really wrong. And he was like, for real? I was like, yeah, I think I need to call an ambulance. And he's like, oh shoot. I'm like, well, he didn't say oh shoot, he said oh shit. I'm paraphrasing, but he said oh shit. And so I called an ambulance, told them what was going on, and they check my vitals and start loading me up, and I start telling them what's going on. They actually gave me they start hooking me up and everything, and one of the stupid freaking dumb girls was like, well, they're probably going to send you home. They're not going to do nothing for you. They're not going to hospitalize you or nothing. And she was being real snotty and real rude. And I'm like, well, at least I can get checked. I said, I was already out the 24, over there at the ER, and they told me to get checked if anything else happens, and I'm having problems breathing. And she goes, well, I'm just letting you know. They're probably going to send you home. You're just wasting our time. And I'm like, rude. And so basically, I had told, when they rolled me in, I told the ER doctor exactly what she said. And she turned to that freaking ambulance driver, not the ambulance driver, but the ambulance chick that had told me that. She goes, how dare you told her that? And she was looking at my vitals. She goes, she's going into renal failure. She goes, how dare you tell her that? She goes, she could pretty much die at any second. And I'm like, I mean, she lowered her head within a second. She goes, you get out of here right now. She goes, I'm talking to your superintendent tomorrow. Or she goes, I might talk to him tonight. She goes, you're getting wrote up. I was like, oh, shit. Come to find out, renal failure means you're basically all your vital organs are pretty much shutting down at the same time. My kidney, my bladder, all that, they were all just they basically were not, they were pretty much putting out as much as they could, and they were just like, we can't. So they pretty much hooked me up to IV bag. They hooked me up to everything. They hooked me up to oxygen. They hooked me up. I mean, they were even getting ready to give me blood if necessary. I was like, blood? I mean, I've only been given blood once, I think. And that had been so long ago that I was like, okay, work. I didn't think I was going to need it, but I was like, okay, work, Gina, work. but I was hoping I didn't need it. But I didn't think I was going to need it anytime soon, I don't think. At that time. Blood at least. But I didn't need blood. I didn't. But